This program is intended for mature audiences. Parental discretion is advised.
All right, now we're Hot Boys live. Hello, welcome to the Halloween episode of the Pop Culture Podcast. It is Thursday, October 28th, 2021. Danny Villanueva Jr. joins us along with J. Anthony Ramos. Hey guys,
how's it going? Good.
Yeah, sorry we're a little late tonight. It's Tony's fault. He's, old man, can't figure out technology.
I can't even say old man. I think we're about to. I don't want to give away your age, Chris, but I think we're about to say age.
I'm knocking on the 50. I'm knocking on 50. So,
me too. I'll be 50 next year. So
same here. Yep.
J. Anthony, you seem like you're handling it better than Chris. I'm noticing a midlife crisis on the top of the screen and a guy who's aging well on the bottom.
It's staying away from technology, man. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, that must be what it is. I'm all about technology. I don't know. You should see my ridiculous setup. But anyway, let's do a little bit of housekeeping before we get into the meat and potatoes of the show. Tomorrow, I'm going to be a guest host on the Insane Asylum with Joe. I'm sitting in for Mark, if you guys are familiar with that show. Joe hasn't announced me yet as a co-host. It's a special guest co-host. He hasn't said my name, but it's me. It's probably because I forgot the last time I was going to be on his show. I forgot about it, but I will be on. So tune in tomorrow. I think it's at 6 p.m. Central Time. Oh, Tom Klein says, "Hey guys, hey Tom."
Apparently, I'm.
We're all gonna win.
If you guys aren't doing anything on Sunday, we have our Twisted Dreams Film Festival premiere of these guys, Danny Villanueva Jr., I Dream of a Psychopomp. This might be Molly. It might be Molly. At the Avalon Atmospheric. Let me put a link to tickets in the chat so you guys can get a ticket if you want. Nope, that's not it. That's not the link. That's the link to the stream. That's not.
While you're doing that, we're going to be at the Avalon Theater. Party starts at 7, but there's going to be a costume contest. 7:30.
Party starts at 7:30. Bar opens at 7:30.
No, tell J. Anthony Ramos that it's 7, so he gets there at 7:30.
Those Latinos, man. And watch me show up at 7 the next day, though. Monday.
No, party starts at 7:30 and the film is at 9:30, and there's going to be a costume contest. So wear your best costume. Actually, we've got the prize right here. Best costume wins this nice little box from our friends at Blumhouse Films. Don't know what's in here, so I'm going to want you to open it in front of me so I can see. It's a heavy box. I think there's games in here. I think each one of these has a different game. It doesn't say, but it's.
So that becomes a horror movie in itself when you open that. 4 different stories right there.
Could be, yeah. It could be a horror film.
It's Gwyneth Paltrow's head.
What's in the box?
I'm curious. I want to open it up.
I am too. I said we cancel the whole thing and just play the games.
Just play the games, yeah. Yeah, we can do
no
that.
Movie, no party, no nothing. We're just going to keep the prize.
I would do that. Anyway, why don't Danny, tell us a little bit about the film. What's it about? I know Tom hadn't heard of it. He didn't know anything about it, but
yeah. So it's a supernatural drama horror anthology film. It's titled "I Dream of the Psychopomp." A lot of people are like, "What the hell is a psychopomp?" Some people right away think that it might be something like slasher because of the word that's psycho that's in it. But psychopomp is a term that's, I believe, it's in the dictionary, but it's used to describe a soul guide. And what soul guides are, they're these beings. There's many different kinds. They've been throughout history and different cultures, but they're pretty much people who help spirits that are stuck on Earth transition into the afterlife. Shamans are a type of psychopomp that are still around, like modern shamanism. There's people who still practice psychopomping. They go into this meditative state where they find earthbound spirits, and then they have conversations with them and help them come to terms with death. Psychic mediums
Is Beetlejuice
do this kind of work.
Is Beetlejuice a psychopomp?
I never thought about that. I don't know.
I think he is.
Yeah, if that's what he's doing, yeah, that makes sense.
I think he could be considered a psychopomp.
Is it Beetlejuice or Beetlegeist?
Don't say.
We said it enough now.
Don't say it again.
Candyman.
I got enough problems going on. I don't need Beetlejuice.
I don't need that guy showing up.
Or Alec Baldwin, for that matter.
Oh,
singer.
This one, maybe.
So yeah, the most popular that we know of is the Grim Reaper figure. He just, he's a guide that escorts souls into the afterlife. But this film is an anthology, so there's multiple segments that intertwine with each other. The wraparound story revolves around a grieving widower who's seeing these haunting visions of his recently deceased wife. And she's in this state of confusion and distress. And as he's trying to make sense of it all, he's visited in his dreams by this psychopomp being who teaches him about the spirit world and soul guidings through these anthology stories. But there's a mixture of they feel like different subgenres, although they all are under this one tone. It's a very consistent tone, but we have a vampire segment. We have a serial killer, psychic medium, police story, and then we have like a coming of age story as well. So there's a little bit of a variety, but each story talks about death and grief and trauma. That's pretty much the heart of what they're about. So yeah, we shot this in Kenosha and Racine. So I know a lot of our friends are in the area. So you can, if you're from Kenosha, you may recognize a lot of locations. We filmed at the historic Hanson Lenman Funeral Home in Kenosha and Library Park. Bradford and Ruther High School, and then in Racine we filmed at the Mound Cemetery, and another location was Old Kenosha Theater where we shot the vampire segment, and it was fitting because many years ago when it was opened and running, Bela Lugosi performed there, who we all know is the Dracula. But like during production, it's being restored. So it's very like busted down, but there's like bats living in the ceiling, sort of flying by during our shoot, which is really added to the atmosphere and helped us really get into the mood to film. But
yeah, that was a really cool scene. Of course, I won't spoil who the vampire is, but that was a really cool scene, and that's such a cool setting.
Yeah,
I really like that scene.
We had to tell him that he didn't need to go method and turn into a bat, so they needed to stop doing
He probably would have. He probably would have. So Tony, what did you do on the project?
Well, I'm a co-producer, co-writer on it. As far as the segment that we're talking about now, the vampire one, me and Danny. That's actually, I think, the first one that started off the whole thing, right? I think he told me, man, I have a cool location. That particular gentleman you're talking about that will be there. He said he's got a cool location and just showed me some photos. And I was like, you know what? He's interested in. Danny told me he was interested in making this horror anthology. I said, listen, I have a short story that might fit this because just the location itself. And I never stepped foot in there until the first day of shooting.
Yeah. So,
but I said, we can get together. We started getting together and hammering out a story. And then he was busy doing other stuff. So I went off and wrote the script. And then I just, we'd meet all the time and hammer some stuff out. And from there, we just took it forward. And then he already had another idea the two ideas for two other segments. So he would bounce those off me. and he just let, I'd read the scripts, and then I'd be like, well, and my background is first and foremost more of an actor, so I'd always, and I tell people, read out loud your scripts, even if you're just a screenwriter, because it might not sound right. And some scripts and movies, nobody really talks the way, in real life, just normal talk is more boring. But I said, so then we just kind of looked at the scripts together, but he pretty much had a grasp on the ideas he had for the other segments. So I kind of would read them and tell him what I thought about it. He'd edit. So basically I kind of just took care of one segment, the whole script, and the rest of them just kind of looking over it. And obviously being with him, looking for locations one night. I mean, we got to start
all the dirty work.
Yeah, almost 24 hours just driving around to the last second. And he's like, dude, I got these people coming in from Michigan, because even though we shot in Kenosha and Racine, and most of the crew is either, locally or Chicago, there's actors that came in from New York and Michigan out of town. And he said, we're shooting in an hour, or I would think it was an hour or 2 hours, and we still didn't have a location for them. And he said, I think I'm going to be sick. I said, open the door, dude, because we were just driving around. And then I said, you know what? Go to sleep. I know it's only about an hour and everything will work out. And sure enough, he texted me within an hour. He's like, we got a location. I'm like, okay. So just co-producing, obviously people ask, what does a producer do? You can pretty much be involved in everything, finding locations, finding, making sure everybody's okay as well on set, just doing all kinds. There's so many things that a co-producer or a producer can do. But yeah, that's what it was, basically, just co-producing, being there with him all the way, and just co-writing some of it, and that's about it.
And Danny,
that's a funny term though, because a co-producer can also do nothing and get credit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure can.
Yes. I'm hoping I did something. I think I brought coffee once.
You did a lot, man.
It was cold by the time you got there.
I always double as craft too. Like I always bring, like yesterday on our shoot, or 2 days ago on our shoot, I brought a case of water and granola bars, and I always bring food for people when I'm a producer too. So definitely can relate. Danny, this is your first feature too. What was that like?
Well, I set out, I knew that I really wanted to up the production value. I wanted to do it proper, from the shorts that I've done in the past. A lot of the shorts I had no crew. A couple of them I did have one person who would just hold the boom pole, but wouldn't know how to operate the mixing, the portable mixer. So I would pretty much have to do everything on set, and I just had a bunch of inexperienced crew, family or friends that would just jump on and just be there to help. And so that was the history of my shorts. And then coming into the future, I was like, I can't keep doing this. I want to focus on directing. I want to talk to these actors and have a clear mind when I'm seeing the scene, and being able to, just see it all without just hyper focusing on one element, like the cinematography, because I'm worried, is it in focus? Did I have any weird abnormal shaking, or just those things that are difficult when you're literally doing every job. You don't just aren't putting the quality care that you need to put into making a film. So that was the first thing that I decided, okay, I'm going to do this the right way. I'm going to hire professionals. I'm going to find some kind of a budget. And that was just self-funding. I literally would take half of my paycheck, put it towards the film, and the other half would just pay my bills. I did take out credit cards, a business loan, and things like that. And I was just confident in myself that I felt like I could make something I could, at minimum, if I keep the budget low, I can make my money back and some more. So I was taking those risks. And not only that, I would have been extremely depressed if I wouldn't have moved forward, and just have been stuck in this point of this career, and knowing that it's not going to go anywhere. It would just ruin my life. I could never live happy. So, taking this gamble is something that I had to do, inside. So yeah, that's what I set out to do. Luckily, I chose an anthology format because it was beneficial in the way that I could save money, film a segment, go broke, start to figure out, how am I going to find more money? Do it again, raise the money, shoot another portion. I had a lot of time in between to edit and kind of fine tune, sculpt, and like make sure that this anthology felt like one piece. I didn't want just to grab a bunch of shorts that I've done and film a wraparound and call it an anthology. I wanted it to feel like one cohesive film. So I did it that way. And I still don't feel like I've been through the hell of shooting a full feature because I've had these long breaks in between. It just felt like I did like 4 short films. So when I hear people who shot like 2 weeks straight, 3 weeks, I just like look at them with such, respect, because I know how difficult it is. Even, 3-day shoots were just insane. Like having to, because I did do most of the producing. I was the one in charge of just gathering everyone, hiring people, doing all the business paperwork, the release forms, locking down locations, and just so much of it that if I had more of a budget or could find more crew, that would have helped. So in a way, I still felt like I was doing what I originally was doing in shorts, which was taking on many jobs, but a lot less than what I used to. But through it all, I just had this excitement, this joy. And then as it slowly started to come together, like it just overcame all of the stress and the anxiety that I felt. And it just became like this thing that I had to get. It was like an addiction where it was like, no matter what, you're not going to just like give up. You want that, you want to get that done. It's just, it eats you up inside. And not only that, you find an incredible pleasure out of doing it. So it doesn't feel like a task, like, I just got to get this done. It's like, you just go for it and do it. And I just spent like, it was almost nearly 5 years in the making. And even on those off times between the shoots, like I was working every day. I was either editing segments, I was writing, rewriting segments, doing business stuff, planning the marketing, and I just had a routine, and I still do every day. Pretty much the time that I wake up, have my coffee until my coffee wears off. Like that's my expiration. But yeah, it was a blast, and I'm ready to move forward. But this time I don't want to be in the same place. I really want to take my next film to the next level and make sure that I can do it properly and, have a budget at least.
Right. Do you have something in mind? Do you have something in mind? Do you got anything written?
Oh yeah. I have 2 screenplays that are pretty much at rough drafts. Like I'm ready to send Tony them to get some feedback. But and then I have other concepts and ideas that are half written. I have some shorts written, but yeah, I'm leaning towards one that seems to be the easiest to get made for me with the smallest budget, and I'm the most excited about it. So I'm ready to start to fund, but I think I'm just gonna wait a little bit till I Dream of a Psychopomp is released, and I can start to get in front of other people's eyes. And if it comes to crowdfunding, I know that's going to be beneficial if I have an audience built in, and then it's much easier for me to send people, potential investors, the film if the film's already released, rather than sending them screeners.
Yep. Let's go ahead and play the trailer. Hope that just gotta make sure everything is right. All right, looks like it's good.
12 sounds familiar.
I was hoping it end that way.
That's where you're going to want to be on Halloween, folks. Telling you, and the Avalon Atmospheric Theater is a beautiful theater, supposedly haunted. Might see a ghost or two. Never know.
Wow, that'd be awesome.
I've never been in there.
Oh, it's a beautiful movie palace. Beautiful movie palace.
Yeah, I was just in there a couple days ago. It's amazing, and the lobby is so huge too.
Mhm.
It's a perfect
That's what I
place to
was-
throw this kind of event.
That's what I was saying. That we'd have plenty of room for vendors, plenty of room for mingling. There's just something's still playing.
So, Danny, do you feel comfortable giving that advice to other filmmakers? Because I know we always ask that at Twisted Dreams, like, what advice would you give the new filmmakers? But somebody you don't know, would you feel comfortable telling them to take the gamble? Because what if it doesn't turn out for them and they listen to you?
Well, they would have to know, like, they would have to have enough confidence and be smart enough. And I don't know, like, I would have to, like, know the person before I could tell them, you know. I would have to see that they have had enough experience to, and, you know, and confidence to take on a feature. Like, if they had some really good shorts that they've done before, and, you know, if they just knew how to properly produce a film, and they could do it without, like, going homeless or nothing. Like, I was lucky to have, like, to be able to live with my parents now, which are my biological grandparents. They're elderly, so I was doing a lot of help with them. I was a caregiver for my mother, and then when she passed away, I've been the caregiver for my father. So they were able to keep me sheltered during this time where I can really just focus on this art and be broke. And, you know, don't have, like, an expensive lifestyle. I'm kind of minimalist. So there's a lot of factors that go into, you know, being able to decide this. And also, I might be a little not so right in the head. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that helps. I think that does help. Tom said that you look like Johnny Depp, so maybe you could be a male model, make some extra bucks.
There you go.
Play Johnny Depp's younger self in a film or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe we won't be able to see those films legally.
Yeah.
Who knows? It's a crazy world we're living in. Tony, do you have any projects in the works?
Yeah. You know, I had the Charlie and the Empty Factories play at the Twisted Dreams, but it was virtual. Now it's turned into a bigger monster. So I actually shot 4 more because it's going to be like just a little web series. Because I'm doing what actually, even though I'm the older statesman, like me and this young man, Danny, we just hit it off, you know, even though it's a, you know, age difference, but we just click well. And he's like, you know what? You get those shorts under your belt before I do a feature. And that's what I've been trying to do. The thing is with Charlie is now we shot like 4 more, but now it's gotten bigger. So now I wrote a couple more like segments, and now it's at 68 pages, literally.
Oh, wow.
So it's almost like a feature. And now the folks that are helping me on the side, you know, I know Danny got so like with the avalanche with the rest of this film, the marketing, everything. He's like, right now, man, I can't help. I said, that's okay. So I got these other 2 guys helping me, and hopefully that's what we'll finish up. We still have to shoot. I'm going to try to shoot 2 more before, you know, winter comes on us. We're supposed to shoot in November, 2 more segments. And then we have about 3 more. So it's going to be like 9 or 10 now. But really, it literally has turned into a feature, but by accident and by kind of doing what happened with Danny's. Is they're all little shorts. Because I only shot basically, well, now I've only directed 3 short films. So I really wanted to have a couple under my belt before I shot a feature. But I have one feature that I'd really like to shoot that I wrote next year. But this man is the horror genre. I know your Twisted Dreams is about horror. I like to write anything. I write comedy, drama. So I have a couple of scripts out there, hopefully going to be directed by people that I wrote them for. So I'm just trying to transition more. It was acting, writing, but I want to direct more. And that's by hanging around like folks like this young man and some other folks. And then I start to learn that, hey, I don't need to know as much technical aspects about lighting or cameras. I don't need to know those things. I didn't know that for a long time. But now I know that other people, I can tell them what I want it to look like. And then we take it from there. They help me do that. So
you just need to know the person that knows that. That's all.
Exactly. Finding people that know more than you, right? We've talked about this before in one of these Q&As. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Find people that know more than you and help them bring that vision. So, and guys like Danny is, obviously he's here. He's been doing film since 15 years now. And me, I just kind of started getting more into this as far as I was just theater background and writing, but now transitioning to filmmaking, totally different. But yeah, so I'm also helping edit a film that I ended up directing through some things that happened. I was just going to be on set helping with the camera work as an AC almost, assistant camera, but I ended up directing it due to some unforeseen circumstances. So that's actually another film too that we're editing right now, and hopefully we can submit that into the horror film, the Twisted Dreams Film Festival, because it's also a horror film. So we'll see. So that, and plus the Charlie stuff, and then just getting ready for next year, hopefully. I don't know if we'll shoot a feature because I would have had to have started pre-production right now and getting funding. But I'm in the same boat as with Danny. That's why I'm very grateful to him or anybody who shoots anything that I write, because the more exposure I get, the more investors. And if they're executed well by people that are very talented, then it helps me find investors too to get my own projects going. So, but yeah, so this Becoming Undead 3 short film that Ron Perti was that wrote. I kind of ended up directing this thing, and then the Charlie series, and that's about it.
Yeah, we're familiar with Ron.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, well, moving on. Who's your inspiration, Danny? Who inspires you?
Let's see. Oh, it's a tough question. A lot of people. I mean, throughout my journey of filmmaking, there's so many artists that have inspired me in certain ways that I was hooked on. I would just watch all their films, watch all their interviews. And it's always changing. There's always someone new, even new talent that's coming out that just really, just.
You were just built to be famous, dude. You have the perfect name. You're handsome. You know how to dodge and say the right things on all the questions. You were built in a test tube as to be famous.
Tony's not shabby either. Tony's in there. What about me?
Oh no, that's all right. I got my mom to tell me those things, and my brothers and my sisters, and then they all get paid later.
I know the feeling.
I just Venmo'd you, Tom. So
thank you.
I'm gonna shoot that question over to Tony too. Tony, who's your inspiration? As
far as filmmaking, I love, anything. I'm a sci-fi and horror. I do like horror, but I think this Ridley Scott film. I really want to go see The Last Duel. I haven't been able to see it. I was there
opening night. I saw that opening night. It was an amazing film.
I've heard.
People give it shit because Matt Damon co-wrote it. Damon and Ben Affleck co-wrote it. I don't know why millennial critics give shit to Damon and Affleck all the time, and I don't understand why. I mean, they won Academy Awards for Good Will Hunting. They're amazing writers, amazing actors, and The Last Duel was no different. It's an amazing film. Yeah, pretty much
haters.
Pretty much, but it's a great Ridley Scott epic. I mean, I don't know how else to describe it.
Yep, and anything that's. I grew up in a family where we watched movies every weekend, but it was those really cheesy Mexican movies. We go to the theater. Yeah. There always seem to be musicals. That's probably why I hate musicals now. I don't really like them unless somebody gets killed in them, like Little Shop of Horrors or Sweeney Todd. I like those.
Did you like Jason X? Speaking of mixing sci-fi and horror,
It's fun. It's a fun movie, man. It's a popcorn movie. It's a fun movie, you know. I think I lean more toward, you know, obviously I brought up Ridley Scott, Alien, mixing sci-fi and horror. That might be the most perfect type of example of what that you hardly see that, and when you see it, I don't know, it can get comical, I guess. So again, the execution by the person, and yeah, this film, The Last Duel, is not making any money, and I don't understand, but it's just, I don't know.
I didn't think it would. I mean, I didn't think it was going to get good reviews or make any money. It's just it's not a marketable film, I guess. I don't know. It's not a film that is, you know, going to make a lot. It's just, I don't know. I think it was a passion project for those guys.
Sure.
But yeah, it was an amazing film. Not an easy film to watch. If you know the story behind it, it's not an easy film to watch. The way that women were treated back then, very, very much not right, I guess.
Right.
Well,
I just saw someone's opinion say that the filmmakers, though, they really, and the actors Damon Affleck, they made sure that they would show that it's these two men that are almost pumping their. It's all about them, and they're forgetting that this woman was raped. So they were trying to do that, but I guess you brought it up. They said that the young crowd really seems to be the ones that have gone back to the theaters, and the older crowd hasn't yet. Yeah, and they're the ones that are just not preferring that, you know, to go see that.
Yeah, very much. You know, it was all about their honor. For Matt Damon's character, it was all about his honor. You know, his honor was at stake. It was all about him. And Adam Driver's character, it was all, you know, he was in love with the woman, so it wasn't rape because he loved her. So then that's.
He was also very wealthy, so he was going to get away with it.
Yeah.
Just like it would in modern times.
It's a fascinating story, really a fascinating story, and I think I thought they did a really good job with it.
But you know what? As far as horror though, or I love writer director combos. If you can do both, the John Carpenter to me is like, you know, he's amazing, and you know, so yeah. So those two, I guess, are the main guys for one for horror, one for. But I mean, John Carpenter can do anything, and even Big Trouble in Little China, which is one of the craziest films, and he's. I mean, I love when genres get also like blended. And
Carpenter's done just about everything. I mean, he did an Elvis biopic with Kurt Russell. I mean, the man can do anything.
And music.
Yep. And music too, of course. Can't forget about the music. I saw him in concert a few years ago before the pandemic hit. This was at the Pabst Theater in downtown Milwaukee. He was touring with his son and another musician, and it was amazing, just amazing. You know, watching him play the Halloween theme live was just surreal.
Yeah, we met a guy. I'm sorry, go ahead.
At where was it? I think it was Horror Hound, like in 2016. Yeah, he did a live performance. But yeah, he was playing the Halloween theme and all of his popular movie theme songs. It was just a crazy experience, man.
Yeah, Carpenter is one of those guys where the phrase "you don't want to meet your heroes" falls into play, because he's a really nasty man personally. Really nasty man. He is a grumpy person, and he will just berate you to no end.
Man.
I had a good experience when I met him.
Did you?
He was pretty nice. He asked where I was from.
Must have been on some medication or something. Every time I've met him, he's been a dick.
He knew you were made in a test tube.
Yeah,
there you go.
Special.
You might. We
got a beautiful, handsome man and midlife crisis Chris walking up to him.
Just messing with you, man. You always mess around.
I don't know. There are videos of him on YouTube where he's just being a dick.
Yeah,
that's what he's known for, just being a dick. But I'm glad you had a good experience.
We met a guy at the horror convention, the Flashback Weekend in Chicago, right, Danny? We met a guy, Mike McEwen. He said he had like partied with them. The guy was playing music. He said, "Man, I was partying with him. He was like high and stuff."
Mike McCutcheon? Mike McCutcheon?
No, his name is Mike McEwen, I think. Yeah, okay. He runs a Facebook page for all horror fans down in Chicago. There's a couple thousand people on that thing or something like that.
Okay,
but he was telling us his experience.
Meetup.com group for like all Chicago horror events.
Yeah.
We'll be at Days of the Dead in Chicago on November 20th.
Oh, cool.
So I'm going down there with Dr. Destruction, who might be still watching. I don't know if he's watching or not, but yeah, we're going to try to get some interviews. Alice Cooper's going to be there. A lot of really cool people are going to be there.
Yes, I saw
David
that.
Howard Thornton from The Terrifier. Art the Clown will be there.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I want to go there. Obviously, I don't think you're not getting the table, right, Danny? This is something
No.
that we're talking
No,
about.
they sold out before I even had a chance to. Like, we got lucky at Flashback because they got some extra room opened up.
Yeah.
So that's how we got a table.
Mhm.
But it's like they go quick.
They do. Yeah, within a day or two, they go quick. I know this Days of the Dead sold out really quick, within hours of them opening up.
Yeah.
So.
Danny and I wanted to steal that station wagon from Halloween, the original one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They like ran us out of there. They didn't want you to take a picture right by there because they wanted you to pay. They were making money.
Yeah. Yeah, they want that
Yeah,
money.
I think it was Mike.
Mike.
Like we walked by. It was like before the show started when we just finished like setting up our vendor table, and then I gave Mike my phone, and he was taking pictures of me like in front of it, and then this dude like walks up. He's like, "How you doing?" I was like, "Good," and then like I just felt him like waiting for me to leave. So then I walk away, and then later on we find out like it's like $40 to take a photo in front of it,
Wow.
and we're just having a full-on photo shoot. Like,
Danny didn't know he was walking around with a blade in his back, for a while, like till
Wow.
that guy had cut him up. Yeah, no, it's because we got there early to set up, so we were just there, and I was just like, "Oh, take a picture," and then the guy was just staring there, and it's like, "Oh, sorry." When it opened up, we found out, oh, they're all paying like $80 to take a photo in that station wagon.
That's insane. Yeah, those photo ops are crazy expensive, especially with some celebrities, like $100 for a picture.
There you go, Danny. That money, man.
Yeah, there you go, Danny. Get your picture taken with people. Charge them,
Yeah, are we gonna need
$50.
security at the Avalon for Danny here?
right.
I think Danny has a ladies' friend.
I'll be in costume.
Danny's
I'll be
lady
in
might be
costume.
there.
No one will recognize.
I'll take
she'll
whatever
be there.
Danny throws away because
Hey guys, he was asking some of us, we Zoom there's different directors, friends, and we always try to Zoom every Monday. And he said, "Hey guys, what do you think I should wear, man? Like, I'm having trouble. I don't want to be like we're going to be a Q&A. I don't want to be like a hot dog or something." I'm like, "No shit. Yeah, you don't want to be a hot dog up there." He was just messing
because
around.
the film is like, it's such a serious film, and like especially like the Q&As tend to be like really like, serious conversations. A lot of people like open up, and like just the thought of me like in a silly costume, like trying to talk to people about death, like
ass end of a horse.
I'm just thinking about that costume idea that I sent you.
oh yeah, the skeleton or the
I gotta look it up now.
I had a friend say I should go as the shower curtain from the Karate Kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be good. That would work. No, man, I'm excited about Sunday though. I'm trying to tell, friends and family, and I know me and Danny had talked about how, a lot of friends and family have already seen the film even more than once, but I said, but they haven't seen it there, and they haven't seen it during Halloween, so I'm excited.
Yep. Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. I mean, I hope we get a big crowd. I hope everybody comes out in amazing costumes. We win a fantastic prize. I know Dr. Destruction will be there. You get your picture taken with him. Get your picture taken with
He
you.
doesn't charge $80.
No, he doesn't charge $80.
I'm just messing around. I know him.
He might to you though.
Well, I got 80 pesos.
Tony Ramos wants a picture with me. It's $80.
Yeah, there you go. Pesos, man.
That's right.
Not besos. Besos means kisses, but I'll kiss him too. If it's a free picture.
Well, it might just cost you one peso.
Oh, okay, sounds good. Not in the cola, hopefully, not in the ass.
Oh, porquito vomita. Porquito vomita.
And I love Dr. Destruction. He's awesome. I know we had our Q&A at the Parkside, and the question was like, how did you guys get inspired or growing up? And I know Danny, has got a great story. And mine was like, man, Spangui, people like him. So horror hosts like him, just having those those old movies, especially the monster movies. I just love those, the Wolfman. So I said, some people like you that do this in different cities, to me is awesome. So when you make a presentation in real life, like in live. I know I get a kick out of it because that's my memories growing up and falling in love with films too. You know, when our
Yeah,
parents would go out.
This Saturday on VPod TV 59.3 in the Chicagoland area, Crimson Theater is going to be on at 7 p.m. going up directly against Svengoolie. So that's going to be an interesting show. VPod TV is having a Halloween special this weekend, and Dr. Destruction's Crimson Theater be on at 7 p.m. So if you're in the Chicagoland area, be sure to tune in.
Well, Spangui was there at that flashback weekend. I tried to tell them I was #1 fan, and they just locked the door on me. They didn't let me in.
Yeah, I've been trying to get Svengoolie to come out to the Twisted
He was
Dreams Film Festival,
untouchable.
but I cannot get a hold of him. I don't know how to get a hold of him.
I have the producer of MeTV's email. I talked to Svengoolie because I was trying to get him to host the world premiere.
You
in Chicago.
handsome son of a bitch. You got all the... So easy being good looking, isn't it?
Well, you can go on IMDb too. If you have IMDb Pro, you can get all that content.
No, it's on their
it's on their
his
website.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah, but I emailed him and he answered, and then he's like, "Hold on, let me send all your details to my producer." But it was just like they didn't start doing live stuff yet. It was like still like just getting out of the, I guess, returning to live events, and they had a whole like list of stuff that they have commitments to already. So they couldn't do it, but he said to reach out to him in the future if there's any kind of events.
Yeah, we reach out to him for Twisted Dreams. Send me his email. I'll try to get him at Twisted Dreams next year.
Or try to get the other one that made me a fan, Elvira.
She's just on right now. She's doing a Storage Wars special. I was watching it.
Man, I know. Didn't she come out with the book recently? Like she's
70.
Yeah.
She's still fine.
Yeah,
she's pretty amazing. She's been on the air for so long. I remember growing up with Elvira.
Yeah,
another one with the good looks that can get anything she wants, right there, Elvira.
Yeah, I'll pay her I'll pay her $100 for the photo. Throw an extra 20 pesos. Oh, he said dollars. Yeah, no, she's those. I didn't care what movies were playing. I was just watching her. But no. It's what was that question that they asked you about growing up? Your watching movies, your older siblings. That happened with me. My older sister used to make me watch, or like Phantasm was a one, and Salem's Lot are in my memory from being like so traumatized. And my mom and my dad would come back from their date, wherever they went, and was like, "What's wrong with you?" It's like, and then she just looked at me like, "No." So older siblings, same. I share that memory with Danny. They're the ones that introduce people to horror films. But anyways.
It was my mom. My mom took me to a lot of horror films when I was a kid because she liked horror films and she didn't have anybody to go with, so she dragged me. So like 10 years old, I went to see Creepshow, and I pretty much kicked it off when I loved horror films.
Cool. Anthologies. What do you think of the new Tales from the Crypt, or I think those are the new ones, right? That they have
the new Creepshow series.
Yeah, series. Yeah.
I like season. I like season 1 and 2. Season 3 that's airing now. They're in the middle of season 3. I think they cut a lot of corners. It's just not as good as the first 2 seasons. I think I don't know if their budget got slashed or what the deal is, but season 1 and 2, the bumpers that they have between the stories, they would have this live animatronic creep puppet that would just, do something comical. Now it's all just cheap flash animation. They don't have that puppet in between. Just really low budget now, so I'm not a fan of it anymore.
What, Danny, remember that gentleman we met, the filmmaker Joe at the Horror Hound in Cincinnati? I know he had mentioned how it's dropped off so badly that this new series was just not as good.
He said it started to get too political or something.
That's what he said.
Well, in season 2, Marilyn Manson was in one of the episodes, and they dropped that episode. They never aired it. It's till this day. It's never been seen. So, because that happened right when those new accusations for him came out.
Damn, I didn't know about those.
Yeah, Joe is the dude I was telling you about, Chris, that submitted the Lake Parasite. He's a really cool dude. funny
Okay.
as hell too.
Yeah, he's a good guy. So, but yeah, it's that was an experience, man. I've never been to Horror Hound, and that was like twice as. I mean, the Chicago one seemed to be bigger. At least the floor where they held the, all the sell the I don't know the merchandise and stuff that they sold. It was a bigger floor, but obviously this wasn't different, and they had the film festival to go with it, not just like the con. So that was interesting because we bounced from building to building, but they were so nice though. They were very nice to us in general. So it was cool to. I tell people all the time, if you got a film and you're thinking let's just put it on YouTube or something right away. No, if you can put it into film, festivals and it gets in, you're gonna meet a lot of new people and they all think like you and you become you just start networking. But then I don't know, it's just a bigger world out there that nobody else see your film but at film festivals. That's why I love Twisted Dreams film festivals. I mean, I remember being in Don't Cry Papa for Danny, and that was the first time I met you guys, and you were at that building where it was that smaller room, and now you're like, so it's getting bigger every year. I'm proud of you guys. It's exciting.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
It's exciting. Yeah, we told those guys, people we were meeting over there, they're like, where else can we put it in? And me and Danny looked at each other. Danny's like, Twisted Dreams Film Festival. Like, send your films there.
Yeah, this year we've got a ton of submissions. They were just rolling in. We far more submissions than we've ever had this early.
Cool.
We just opened
And it's
submissions
a year out.
Wow.
Yep. We have enough for a full festival already, and we're still a year out. It's been incredible. We've gotten just a lot of submissions. All right, I think it's about time we need to wrap things up. So let's go over the party one more time. Danny, what's going on Sunday?
Yeah, so Sunday, Halloween night, we're going to have the Milwaukee premiere of my feature-length directorial debut, I Dream of a Psychopomp, and that'll be at the Avalon Theater, a historic 92-year-old cinema. We're also having a Halloween bash at the event, so we'll have a costume party, costume contest, there'll be drinks, music, and it's going to be lots of fun. The Halloween party, the bar opens at 7:30 p.m. and then the screening starts at 9:30. We're going to have a purple carpet, so we'll have some photos to take. Dr. Destruction is going to be our host, and then we'll have a Q&A following the screening, so it's going to be lots of fun. I highly encourage all of you guys to come out and join us for a spooky, fun night and see a locally made film.
Wear your best costume and win this amazing prize. Let's see if I can get it
Yeah,
in.
look at that.
Look at that.
Looks awesome.
Got games in there, I think.
Bloomhouse.
Maybe.
Awesome.
Yeah, you can't just walk into a store and buy that. That was sent directly from Bloom. So can't go wrong there. I don't know what's in it. I want to know. So you have to open it. That's one of the conditions. You have to open it. And Danny does not charge for photographs. If you want photos with Danny, they're free.
I thought
Right now,
we didn't
though.
talk about that yet, Chris.
Tony's $10. Danny's free.
10 pesos. That's okay.
I'm
Pesos or pesos?
10 pesos. I have to screen people first, though. I'm just kidding.
You need their Vax card.
I have to take the mask off for real first.
requiring.
You're good.
Yeah, I require Vax cards for kisses. All right, guys.
True horror story.
I hope you guys buy your tickets in advance. Our tickets will be available at the door, of course, but they're cheaper. No, they're cheaper at the door. I'm sorry. There's links to the ticketing website is in the comments. I think that's all we got.
You can buy tickets there at the door, correct?
You can buy tickets at the door.
That was always the question for all the other ones we've had so far. Like, can you buy tickets at the door? So cool.
I don't see why not. I haven't been told you can't, but I haven't been told you can.
I know Tinseltown said no. Tinseltown was a no. That was the only place that they didn't allow tickets on sale there. We played in Kenosha, but cool.
We've never had a problem selling tickets at the door during the festival. So if you want a ticket at the door, you can buy a ticket at the door. I'll make sure of it. I'll be there. I'll make sure you get in. All right. We'll be back next week with somebody else. Until then, you guys have a good week, and I hope to see you on a spooky Halloween.